Before we jump into this episode, I want to invite you to join our community to help you become a better steward, scale to billions, and ultimately give more or all of it away. All I want you to do is to click the subscribe button right now. I love your support. It's incredible to see your comments, and we're just getting started. I can't wait to go on this journey with you. Thank you so much for subscribing. It means the world to me. Welcome to the Build It to Billions podcast, where we guide successful entrepreneurs and investors on their journey from millions to billions. We believe the key to scaling and compounding your wealth and life starts every single day with a mindset and practice of stewardship over ownership and applying billionaire biblical principles. Our ultimate goal is to help you scale and compound your wealth and life so you can give more or all of it away and help MVPs. My name is Brett Swartz. Each and every episode, we're joined by the world's top entrepreneurs, millionaires, or billionaires, and they share their secrets, wisdom, and insight with us so we can all level up, make a bigger impact. I'm excited about our next guest. He's a successful entrepreneur who scaled his last company to 200 plus employees across 12 countries, then executed a strategic exit to a $4 billion competitor using a disciplined, repeatable framework. That discipline was forged not only in the boardroom, but through the elite endurance challenges, including 17 Ironman triathlons and high altitude mountaineering expeditions, including Mount Everest. He's a best-selling author of Built to Finish and a keynote and TEDx speaker and host of the Built to Finish podcast. Today, he advises founders and CEOs on building companies intentionally designed not to just grow, but to finish strong. Please welcome to the show with me, Mr. Steven Pivnik. Steven, how are you doing?
Brett, great. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Absolutely. For our listeners, get to know you for the first time, maybe give us a little bit more about your story and your current focus.
Sure. So I basically, like you mentioned, I built my last company to over 200 employees. It was a software company, so IT focused. I won't bore your audience to tears with what we did. It was super nerdy, but there was a great demand for it worldwide. So scaled it across the world, really. 12 countries. We had most of the Fortune 5,000 customers around the world were our customers, so we focused on targeting the biggest companies out there. And our number one competitor, which was a $4 billion software company, got sick and tired of losing to us, so they ended up acquiring us after we hit I think $40 million in sales was too much for them to compete with.
That's incredible. And before we dive into a $1+ billion founders exits, which you help founders to exit well and to grow in all areas of life. And we'll talk about an amazing trip and opportunity for some investors to consider for Ecuador that's coming up here. Before we dive into all that, I'm kind of curious, Steven, growing up, who was he, right? And maybe what was the one or two superpowers or gifts you believe you were given, and how does that help how you help and bless people today?
Yeah, I mean, I really, I come from an immigrant family. We came over to this country when I was 3 years old. We immigrated from what is now the Ukraine. It was the Soviet Union back in 1972, which is when we left. And I think the biggest gift I got was from my father. And I just learned an incredible work ethic and learned how to deal with the grind, right? We came over with, almost no money in our pockets, no place to live. They didn't have a place to work. I'm not sure they actually knew how they were going to survive, but it couldn't be worse than what they were facing in the Soviet Union. So they took the leap of faith, and I learned how to grind it out just by watching my father and his work ethic. No such thing as
What was the moment your dad, or that it kind of sunk in that oh wait, mom and dad are different? Because when you're in it, you're kind of it's just what you're used to. And then you look around and you're like, wait, not everyone wants or is hungry as we are, or is work as hard as we are. But was there a moment that it kind of clicked in your teenage years or something?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly when it happened, around the teenage years, where I noticed, I went to an incredibly ritzy school because of an immigrant scholarship. Everybody else was super wealthy there. I was the poorest kid in school. And I noticed, them taking incredibly long vacations and their parents not working weekends and them having a little bit more of, leisure in their life. And we didn't have that. So, my parents had to, work, tooth and nail to put food on the table and to give us, what we never wanted for anything, but we definitely didn't have the luxuries that all of my peers in school did. So I noticed a huge disparity there.
Awesome. Well, let's with that in mind and that spirit of mind of hard work and how to deal with the grind. Let's talk about the best wisdom or secrets that you've learned from founders who've exited. Right. I mean, you've been either helped or a part of yourself over $1 billion plus worth of exits. So what's the number one thing that you found if you want to have a successful exit?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many that come to mind. At the top of the list would be, first of all, corporate governance and being able, I call it ABC. People refer to ABC as always be closing deals. I refer to ABC as always be closing your books, right? So there needs to be a very, very disciplined corporate governance process in place in order to close your books on a time.
So if you like this little short clip of the interview I just did, click over here to watch the full interview. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much, everybody.